Alright, so my second DMT experience. If you've watched other videos, you'll know about my first one, which was a production. And if you haven't watched them, go back and watch them. After the first one, my friend and I decided we didn't like all the production that was around. All the noise, all the brouhaha. We just wanted to kind of experience the DMT in itself. So we actually got some DMT, some changa, so that we could smoke it. And we decided to sit with just the two of us. And one of us held space for the other while the other smoked and went on their journey. And then we swapped. And overall, it was definitely a different experience because there wasn't all the brouhaha. And there wasn't a lot of noise and music and whatnot. And the truth is, for me, I enjoyed part of that, but I also see where part of that could help. Because one thing I definitely noticed was this journey was a little shorter. And I think that part of that was the coming back was much quicker because it was just, oh, I'm back. And that was that. And there wasn't this progression of this brouhaha, this chanting that moved into less stuff and then this and that. I don't know for sure. But for me, I definitely felt it was shorter. Now, we both agree that what we got the second time was not as potent as the first time, and we actually think it was maybe mixed with marijuana, which neither one of us were actually thrilled about. But that could have altered it a little. What did not change for me, however, is the fact that I still had a great journey and I still went away. Just as a reminder, my first one, very colorful. My body disappeared, I disappeared, this world disappeared, everything ceased to exist. And it was very colorful with such vibrant colors that I had never seen before. And it was kind of a wave, kind of like this, of colors and waves and stuff. This one, I did feel it with the first hit, but it actually took 4 hits instead of 3, although I did take 4 last time, but I didn't need them because I was already feeling it. I was already gone before the 4th one, but it really took the 4th hit to fully push me through. But when that sunk in and when that hit, I did disappear, only this time, whereas the last time my body kind of melted. This time, the second time, it was more of a, it just disappeared. There wasn't a process, there wasn't a thing, it was just all of a sudden, I'm here and I'm in my body, and then boom, I ceased to exist, the body ceased to exist, time ceased to exist, everything ceased to exist. And what I saw this time was like a kaleidoscope with 5 sections of the kaleidoscope, and it was spinning. And the only color really I saw was gold. It was absolutely gold kaleidoscope just spinning. And then I saw a little white, like lightning stuff kind of above the kaleidoscope, which I don't get or understand because it wasn't like I saw the black behind the white lightning to make the white lightning appear. But this is what happens when you're in this different realm, is the laws and physics and whatever of this earthly reality, they don't matter, and they're not needed. So it was just, that's what it was. The gold kaleidoscope with like white lightning kind of going. And it, again, was truly, truly peaceful. And none of these words even come close to really explaining what it feels. But it was peaceful, calm, joyful, loving. It was a very nice experience. Not as I don't even want to use the word intense and overwhelming, because the first one wasn't that, but not as fully engrossing as the first one, but it was still an absolutely wonderful experience. And afterwards, when I came back, I thought how interesting it was that the only color I saw was gold, and then the little white lightning. But I think that's just a progression. And I will say this, I definitely felt great after both experiences. It doesn't take a long time to recoup, so to speak. But the next day, I was laying in bed, just doing my thing, and all of a sudden, I wasn't thinking of anything, I did nothing to bring this, but all of a sudden I saw this gold kaleidoscope again, only this time in the 5 little sections of the kaleidoscope, I saw people that I know. In each section, I saw 5 people that I know, and they were in that section, and it kept turning the kaleidoscope, as kaleidoscopes do, and each life person that was in each 5th, they kept mixing. And that just happened out of the blue when I was completely stone cold sober, not on anything. But it was really wonderful, and it was really eye-opening to me, because it really made me think that what I was seeing at that moment, I was seeing what these 5 people that I knew, what they were doing at that moment. And then the way that the kaleidoscope turned and merged, it made me really understand and know that we are all from the same source. We are all essentially the same entity, the same source. And we are just playing out different experiences and different things in all these different characters. And the way that merged the characters, it just brought me to this great knowing that, yes, that we're all the same source, or pieces of the same source, plopped into these characters to play out this experience of life on Earth right now. And that was very calming and peaceful and wonderful to know for me. So you can have different experiences, and you probably will every time you take DMT. I personally think it's not something that should be taken all the time, but that's just my opinion. But it's always kind of an eye-opening, soul-opening, truth-recognizing experience, I guess, is the best way that I can explain it. And it's glorious, even if you have what's called a so-called bad trip. To me, that's you fighting whatever it is that's coming. I didn't fight anything. In one of my other videos, what is ego death? I go into ego death and whether it's real or not or whatever, but my experience with it. So I don't have a whole lot of ego when I'm taking this. So it's always just a glorious experience. And I just still believe DMT, you're going to get what you need for your character to understand what it is that you need to understand. And that alone in itself is phenomenal. So that's all for now. I will, coming up next will be one about the the 5-MeO, because these first two, they were the NN-DMT. And I did have an experience with 5-MeO, and I'll go into that in another video. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.